United States is not the land of the free and the home of the brave. It is the land of the fee and the home of the slave. And more Americans are waking up to that fact, and hallelujah to that, because only if they do so and then act upon their new perception will they truly have any chance of living in a land that is anyway associated with freedom, and a land that makes a contribution to peace in the world, not a contribution to more and more slaughter, more and more conflict, and therefore more and more acquisition of people and land. We are now at the point where those institutions and these institutions of control and surveillance and all the rest of it are now being put in place. So this hidden dictatorship all this time is now coming to the surface where it can be seen. And this gives us an opportunity for people to actually start to do something about what's happening. Because instead of being some far off sometime over the rainbow, it might come sometime, it's now in our face. The police state is staring us in the eye. And it's getting more and more imposed upon us and more imposed on society every day. More and more people are waking up faster and faster and faster. Now, there's a reason for this, which we can discuss at another time. It's to do with an energetic change, which is affecting the way people see the world and see themselves, something that's been predicted a very long time. And the elite are trying, in simple terms, to put the lid upon that awakening.
He asked me to get back in my car, and I again said, "Show me the tape, please show me the tape." He asked me to get back in the car, and then he pulled out his taser and said I was under arrest. I said, "Don't do this in front of my kids." I got back in the car, and he said he wanted me back out of the car now. And I said, "Why am I under arrest? I've done nothing wrong. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't on my cell phone." He then yanked me out of the car and wanted me to go down, put my hands, or lie. Pulled his taser out, and the first shot jolted me, and I was trying to get back in the car again because I was scared. And then he yanked me away again, and that's when he tased me, and I went down on the ground. It felt like it was it was an electrical shock going through you, and I had no control over anything. And he's still trying to get me down to the ground, but I was still being electrified.
I'm sick of this, and I'll tell you why I'm sick of it. Because while these pathetic, naive people, despite all the evidence before them, are looking the other way, "Oh no, it's just paranoia," while they're doing that, they are allowing these people to impose their will on my children, on my life, and I'm not having it. And if people would just engage a few more brain cells, open the eyes and look, they will see the scale of fascism, no other word for it, that we are being subjected to today. And if you don't wake up and you go on looking the other way, well, the fascism just gets more, and eventually it will dawn on you, and by then it will be too late. Don't look to me for sympathy when it happens, mate, because you got your chance now.
Now sign it. Get over here now! Give it to me and I'll sign it. Oh, you're going to shove me? Ma'am, you're going to shove a son between your woman?
The shove, the constable's office says, served to get the two out of oncoming traffic. Then the deputy warns her.
No, go back and get the tape. Go ahead, hey. Hell, 72-year-old woman needs a picture. I'm going to tase you.
After 5 warnings to stand back or get tasered.
Step back and you're going to be tased, man. Put your head behind your back. I'm getting back in my car. You're going to be tased. Stop. I'm getting back in my car. No, ma'am. Taser. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Now put your head behind your back. Put your head behind your back. You're going to be tased again.
And if they, the people sitting on their backsides and sitting on their hands and looking the other way now, don't join with those who are challenging this gathering police state, then those who are challenging it now, who've understood what's happening and the methods used to impose it, they are going to be not with us when the knock comes on their door. Oh, I've just had a knock on the door, what do I do? Go down the concentration camp, mate. There's loads of people there who were telling you years ago that this was coming. You were watching the soap at the time, remember? It's unbelievable that people can be so blind when now it is so close to their eyes.
Those who remain, by order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You must leave the immediate vicinity. If you do not disperse, you may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
I'm speechless.
Could you explain the reasons for all of this, sir? What's happening? Sir? Could you explain what's happening? Why we have to disperse?
What you see with people is that they're desperate to hear what they want to hear. And they're desperate for people to say, oh, no, these conspiracy theorists, they're all crazy, you know, they're all paranoid. It's not really going on. It's ridiculous. And this is done to protect you. This is done for you. You know, we're the government. We care for you. This is why we're doing it. So you go to sleep, you know, watch the telly. There's a game on in a minute, and you'll be fine. And we're just going to build another concentration camp, okay? See you later. And what we need to do is stop this self-indulgence of picking up what we want to hear and trying to get ourselves to believe it. There's not a problem here. And actually look it in the face and realize that, if anything, George Orwell understated what we are heading towards unless we step up en masse and say enough, no more. So, are we going to make a stand now and draw a line in the sand and say here and no further, in fact we're going to roll this back? Or are we going to wait until it's got really, really extreme, by which time there'll be so much infrastructure in place that drawing a line in the sand will be a serious challenge? And it's no good. I said to some policemen in Parliament Square a few months ago, ask yourself, when your child says to you, Mummy and Daddy, what were you doing when the police state was introduced? Oh, well, I was watching the telly, honey. Or in the policeman's case, I was helping to introduce it, dear. That's the situation we're facing. I'm sorry that I'm struggling to find words, because words fail me. The idea that governments, with their record, have the interests of the people at heart. Anyone who believes that is basically a lost cause in terms of understanding what's happening in the world. And I'll just leave them to get on with it. And when the knock comes on their door, don't call me. If people don't like it, well, they just have to do the other thing, because this is how it is. And we either face it now, or we face it a little bit further along the road, when if we think it's not very good now, it'll be a bloody nightmare by then. It's time to lift the arse off the sofa and bring an end to this nonsense, because otherwise we're just building our own prison cell or sitting around while someone does it. Is that sensible? I think not.
Rise like lions after slumber in unvanquishable number. Shake Shake your chains to earth like dew, which in sleep has fallen on you. Ye are many, they are few. When we figure that out, there goes their